Hello and welcome to Flory Models Kit Review Time. Today we've got the 1/72 YAK-130 by Zvezda. Now Zvezda, if you don't know, makes some absolutely fantastic 1/72 scale models. They've done some really nice subjects from the Flanker family, from the Fulcrum family, so hopefully the YAK-130 will follow along with it as well. So looking around on the box, you can see very nice box art. I think there's a couple of boxings around with this one, and this one is showing it in one of the demo colour schemes, as you can see it on here. A little bit of blurby round on the box, as you can see. It is available from the PM store for a measly £12. What a bargain. Okay, and then some of the other stuff we were talking about, I said I have done, or even built some of these, and they are absolutely fantastic. Having built that one and that one, they are absolutely fantastic kits. And on the back, obviously you get a look of exactly what we got down in here right the way through. 16 centimetres, it's 91 parts. As we know. Right, I haven't been in here, so you can watch me do my usual horrendous job at trying to get one of these boxes. I'm going to second guess myself and open both ends, because it always goes wrong. Zvezda make this system of actually a box within a box, and I find if I don't open both ends, I can't get it out. Okay, so that's that one. We are finally in. Open up. Oh, whoa. Okay, that's not often I get taken aback, but that's definitely a whoa moment. I was not expecting that. I thought the days of companies doing this type of thing have long gone. Apparently they are still alive and kicking in Zvezda. Okay, so we've got clear parts, we've got some instructions, we've got some decals, we've got a colour call out sheet. Let's just lose that. That's just our blurb sheet. Okay, so as always, we'll start in our instructions and we'll work our way round. Okay, so as you can see, that usual sort of way of doing it. So we've got the parts thing down in here. A couple of nice little touches. The stand, no doubt, will be an optional extra, but again, it is showing it. You can do it in flight or with the speed brake open at the back. Fantastic speed brake on this thing. Okay, so it is the old-fashioned open up series, as we can see down in here. So if we just move this up here so you can have a good look. So starting off with, weirdly, it's the engines down in the back, which is a little bit different. So it's talking about popping these all together and working our way through. And again, beautiful work, fully detailed engine, but the wheel system of the main gear is part of this, which follows along somewhat to the 48 scale brethrens of them that are out there as well. But as you can see, nice to see you've got, obviously it's showing it down in here and the other parts from different angles right the way through. If you do want to put the stand in, or you are planning in a stand, it's talking about down in here, cutting open the slot for it in the middle at the back, okay? It is a little bit modular, and I've always said it's a little bit complicated how all of these do go together, but it's a shape issue. Because of the way that this thing has its facets and curves and things like that, really it's the only way you can actually mold this thing, okay? So there we go. We've got the sort of belly going in, the sides with the engines, and the rudder system is all going to fit in at the top. Then over here, a bit more back to normal, it's the actual cockpit. So we're working with the ejector seat, the controls and everything else being fitted down into the tub, front and rear seats going down into there. Then we've got over here is the nose wheel, so being fitted down underneath the actual cockpit for the nose wheel set, and then the front part going on as well, okay? Instrument panel being fitted in, and then obviously we've got the HUD being fitted down to the instrument panel coving at the top. Front part going together, so again you've got that central and then two sides coming in, and then not only do you have to fit obviously the front to the main fuselage, you've got this decked area coming in at the top as well. So again, the other one was very much similar, but everyone's reported to me that this actually goes together better than it looks, which I'm taking as meaning it goes together. Okay, so on the other side, you ended up, once you've got all of those parts in, you've got another piece which goes in at the top again, which is this giant one-piece wing. So hopefully any dodgy areas you've got down in here will be hidden nicely with that, okay? So there's a couple of parts going up on the inside, and then we've actually got the canopy with the glass between the front and rear cockpit sections. Wheels are separate with hubs, quite a nice touch as well. Then we do have flaps, and then obviously it'll be positional because it's an all-moving tail on this one, right the way down as well. And then we've got the last bit of the actual engine nozzle covers being fitted down at the back. Gear doors being fitted on, or if you're going to have them up, we've got some aerials going down there, pitot tubes, things like that, and then that giant speed brake at the back, obviously optional up or down, and then the canopy you could obviously do open or close, as you can see down in here. We do get two crew as well, full Russian gear as well, that's very nice, and the stand, which I do believe is an optional extra, is not actually in the kit, okay? Decals, actually very nice indeed, because there isn't many, so that's bonus. So some of those being fitted down in, colour call call-outs, generics at best, okay, and that will complete your build. So actually this is the same as pretty much of all the other Yak family which I've seen and reviewed and looked at. They look very, very complex trying to get them together. Take your time, plenty of test fitting and dry fitting. You shouldn't have a problem, because everybody I know who's built the ones of these, because there's a couple of different versions out there, have all reported it actually goes together better than it looks. Okay, decals, as you can see, just down in here, not too bad at all. Zvezda's pretty much no problems with theirs at all. They're good, solid colour. Even with the white, you're going to be going over red with them. That's my only thing. They might look a bit pinkish, so I don't know. I think I'd be more inclined for these areas down at the back here, definitely, to actually paint it, mask it, and then unmask it afterwards. The walkway ones around in here, then I would leave those, and obviously we would use those, but the rest of them I think might be better to do that painting. So obviously this is a specific kit to this particular one, so you only get the one call out in this fantastic demo colour scheme with the red, and that actually does look very smart, I must admit. It's a nice looking scheme at the end of the day, with the white and the red. Works really, really well together on that one. But again, this area down the back, I'll be more inclined definitely to actually paint that, I think. Okay, so again, we will tell you what, we will start with the clear parts, which are in a fantastic thick plastic bag. Okay, so Zvezda traditionally, even on their small stuff, isn't too bad. And actually, again, when you put your finger in it, you can see my fingerprint in there, which is always a good sign. Okay, so that's pretty good. And even looking on the front, that's not too much of a wobbly on that nose section. No, it's not perfect by a long way, but again, in 72nd, we sort of can forgive it. And obviously the screen between the two cockpits, this one at the back, doesn't look too bad at all. So actually, I think in the great scheme of things, again, for a 72nd scale kit, that works very, very nicely. Okay, if you don't go colourblind, we will attempt to get in here. Okay, so giant crispy bag. So let's start with the back parts. Again, Zvezda have pretty much nailed that very nice recessed details, incredibly fine, and again, this is no slouch. Unfortunately, I think the camera's going to really struggle trying to show some of this, so let's just start here on the back. Hopefully you can see that recessed details. Again, it's not a smooth surface, it's got that sort of flat textured finish to their kits. This is the same as the others, and to be honest, it doesn't look as bad as you're seeing it there. Again, never even really noticed it, but you can see we've got some nice detail underneath here for the actual areas, and again, both sides looking pretty good, because that's where you're going to see a lot of detail on this. Okay, just down on those. So actually, I don't think that's too bad. Then obviously we got the part of the intakes. You can see they have got no ejector pins in there because they're done top side up, so that's quite nice. And then working around on the side parts, and this is where you were seeing, yeah, because of the facets, the way that this angles is, it's very difficult to mould it in one. Okay, so that's why they've taken it upon themselves to break it down into sort of 4 or 5 different areas. But again, no real problem with that at all. Hopefully you can see down in here, we've got nice riveting details, various things. We've got the center body there, again, lots of details. This red is just generally not doing it any favors whatsoever. I'm sure by the time you got a coat of primer on this, it'll look normal and nice, because again, it's very difficult to see what's going on. Over on here, we've got the fuselage, forward fuselage halves, and again, there's full details, recessed details, but the red is really making it difficult to see them, but they are all there, and to be honest, they look fine to my eye. Okay, might have a little bit of release agent even around this nose on this particular kit. On the undersides, as you can see, all the ejector pins nicely tucked out of the way, no problems anywhere that I can see with any of this. Good, clean, sharp plastic as well. Plastic very reminiscent of that Airfix one we were looking at a moment ago. Okay, that one will just pop out of the way. So, sprue 2, you can see down under here. No real problems at all. I think if we just really work our way around the close-ups, best option. So top of the tailplane there, we've actually got, these are the nozzle covers just down in here. And then obviously we've got the actual wing and the underside. You can see the detail on there. We've got the speed brake, we've got the gear, we've got the actual instrument panels over here. And if we work our way right the way around, you can see, getting away from this bloody awful red colour, actually it looks very nice. We've got the actual first stage compressor blades, and we got the actual flame holder down there at the back for the engines. Again, nice. No ejector pins in these areas because it's done the right way up, so to speak. So for those ones there, for the actual intakes, we've got the cockpit. Doesn't look too bad at all, as you can see. And then down on here we've got the wings. For the underside of those wings, looking pretty good. And again, nice details that we've got just down in here in the trailing edge. This is the gap between the flaps and the actual main wing. So you won't see it because you're going to have a flap in the way, but some nice details down there as well. And again, good, clean, sharp tooling, marks and everything else. Right the way down to here to the speed brake. There is another part that's going to go in here as well. But some nice details in that. Very, very nice. Okay, generic sort of weapony things as you might imagine you're going to get with this kit, but again it gives you an idea of some of the details. So we've got the seat, and then as I say you've got the actual infrared missiles, we've got the fuel tanks, things on there like that, and we've basically got a match pair on these. I thought people have moved away from doing this type of thing, of doing, you know, it's red plain, we'll mould it in red. Why? Why would you do that? We're all going to paint it at the end of the day, and you would never build it in that colour because it just looks horrible. Please stop, Zvezda, stop, because it just, yeah, it's horrible to review it and the camera doesn't like it either. If you can see through those details, the details in this kit are very, very nice. The recessed paneling, as we said before, with Zvezda, they are one of the good ones at this. Them and Edard have pretty much mastered how to do a panel line and riveting detail, especially in 72nd scale, what I would call on scale. It looks right. I know a lot of people out there, they say, well, you can't see it at 72nd scale anyway and all the rest of it. But from my point of view, I think it's a nice balance because it's good enough you can see it. It takes a wash. It makes it stand out without it being in your face, really, really heavy. Unfortunately, like some of the older Airfix kits, for instance, which are just trenches and they're just well out of scale. You could put your hand probably between the gaps from a scale point of view. These do look very nice, but Zvezda's pretty much got it down packed. Again, Zvezda have been producing, obviously it's home market, a lot of the Russian stuff, they do it very, very well. Okay, the kits do tend to go together extremely well. As I say, I've got one sat there. I've got the actual flanker sat up there. I've got the SU-27 next to it, that's up there as well, so forth and so on. And I've done the MiG-29 as well. All of their kits with a few little areas that just may need a little bit of work, just getting them together and all the rest of it. But generally they do go together very, very well. And again, bang for buck, we were saying this is a £12 kit. That's fantastic, beautiful detail, lots of stuff going on, and for 12 quid it's almost pocket money level, so you can do a lot with these kits and spend a little bit more time on them to really get them up there to the next level. So there we go, that is the Zvezda 172nd YAK-130.